Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. Kate Winslet has proved time and time again that she's a force of nature on screen. Only she could have portrayed war correspondent Lee Miller, and she spent years bringing her story to life in the new movie Lee. It's in theaters and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies. Lee Miller was a pioneer in her field, being one of the first female war photographers in a very male-dominated field. The film is structured around an interview that she's given in her apartment to a journalist played by Josh O'Connor. It's here where she's recounting significant moments of her life, going back to being a model in news in 1938, meeting her husband who's played by Alexander Skarsgard, and how she felt a calling to be on the front lines during World War II. She doesn't want to hide or lay low. And while she's perfectly content working alone, she finds it hard to get access due to the fact that she's a woman. She gets hired by Vogue to cover the war and works alongside fellow photographer David Sherman, who's played by Andy Samberg, to document the atrocities of the war. The film also stars Marion Cotillard and Andrea Riseborough. Kate Winslet has brought on a female-led creative team with screenwriters Liz Hanna and Marion Hume and director Alan Curis. Now, Alan Curis has previously worked with Kate Winslet as a cinematographer on Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and A Little Chaos. Winslet and her writers make, I think, the wise choice to really cover just roughly 10 years in the life of Lee Miller at this kind of critical time of her documenting the war. The structure of her being interviewed does allow time to, I think, cover her younger years just a little bit, but without having that kind of general biopic wash over her life. The story positions Lee as being part of this kind of carefree, sexually liberated group of friends, showcasing that she's not afraid of societal pressures or societal images. She's fearless before she even came face to face with the horrors of war. And she was kind of used to that simple life until the war changed everything. There's this kind of not so subtle reminder here that history can repeat itself. And we hear characters in kind of disbelief that people are even falling for Hitler and his tyranny. Winslet and director Alan Curis really demonstrate the drive that Lee had that really carries this film. She dutifully questions why women can't go to the front line. Lee is seeing firsthand that the war wasn't over despite the liberation of France. Lee, the movie, has a really strong supporting cast with Marion Cotillard, Alexander Skarsgard, and Andrea Riseborough in supporting roles. And they all, I think, have kind of just limited screen time just due to the structure of how this story unfolds like a memory piece. This is primarily Lee's story, and it's a compelling character profile on her. Andy Samberg is wonderful in his first kind of dramatic role. He's well known for his sketch comedy days on Saturday Night Live, and I think continues to prove his strengths outside of it. He plays the honesty of every situation that David finds himself in without ever having to kind of fall back on comedy or a wink to the camera, as that just would not be appropriate here. Kate Winslet has a passion for telling Lee's story, and you can feel that on screen through the production. Alan Curis's work as a cinematographer, I think, gives her kind of this leg up on directing this by kind of channeling Lee's work as a photographer. There's an urgency here at reminding audiences of the importance of a war correspondent. Lee Miller was a pioneer thanks to her ambition and determination to stand out and be the best. I'm giving Lee 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have some other movie reviews, and I got to interview Kate Winslet. She was just this bucket list interview for me, so check out that interview. Such wise words from her, as well as my interview with Andy Samberg and Andrea Riseborough. They were both great as well. Follow me on social media at Paul's Movie Trip, and then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of Lee. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.